Hello and good afternoon, बच्चों. We had completed the first book of accountancy. In that, we had completed the fundamental, admission, retirement, death of a partner, as well as we completed the dissolution of partnership form. And recently, we completed the chapter non-profit organization. Whatever the important things are there where you have to focus, I already told you. Please do the practice on that also. And one more thing is, and that is very simple. Do the practice from your side book, but try to solve all the questions of NCERT. You not need to purchase the NCERT because it is available at free cost at the website of NCERT. ncert.nic.in. You can go for ebook section, and in the ebook section you can download the first part of accountancy. And bacha, it is advisable to you that you solve each and every question of NCERT exercise. So now we started. Today we will start the chapter book number 2, chapter number 1, which is known as the accounting for share capital. So the first topic is in that it is known as company account. So what is company? What is shares? That all we will discuss in this particular one. In the class 11th, we had studied about the sole proprietorship, partnership, and the basic funda of company also. Okay. So, bacha, in the class 11th, we had completed the sole proprietorship and the partnership, and we discussed the basic meaning of the company, the types of company. We had discussed that public company and private companies are there. So I just take you back a little bit to revise that. What are the advantages of the sole proprietorship? Is in the sole proprietorship and the partnership, there is a quick decision making. Secrecy is little bit maintained. Somewhere the conflicts are not there, because in the sole proprietorship only one person is there. So in the sole proprietorship, the person is not having any conflict with anyone, because the person is the whole soul of the business. In the partnership also, the mutual agreements are there, pre-decided things are there, so generally the conflicts are not arises between the partners, and they are very self-motivated for earning the profit. And the reason for this is what? A very simple reason. That whatever they are doing, directly profit will be given to them only. So the profit is transferred to them, and because of this, they are self-motivated for doing the things. But there are some disadvantages also. Disadvantage is what, bacha? Less chance of growth and expansion. The business can not grow at the big level. Always they have a problem of capital, and the most important is lack of continuity. What is the lack of continuity? Suppose one person is handling the business or two person is handling the business, and anything is happened to them, that form of business organization will be stopped. Like suppose one person is handling the business, after the death of the person, maybe that particular business organization stopped. And sometime when we try to do everything, ultimately we are not doing anything. And sometime when we are focusing on each and everything, in that somewhere the important thing sometime is ignored. So lack of managerial skills are there when it is a sole proprietorship. So sole proprietorship, partnership, all that is not giving that much suitable things. And what is the solution if a partner want to grow a very big organization. The funda of that particular person is to earn huge profit. So what is the solution for that? And the solution is, all of that problem is company. To open a company is the solution of lack of capital, lack of continuity, managerial skills, and growth and expansion, because there is a huge scope of growth and expansion in the company. So what is company? Company may be viewed as an association of persons who contribute money, a money worth. A money worth is what, bacha? Anything which can be converted in the terms of money, like furniture, building, anything. Sometimes assets, sometimes machinery, anything. So company may be viewed as an association of persons who contribute money, a money worth, to a common stock and use it for a common purpose. So all are jointly stock the money, and after arranging the money at one place, they are using that money for the common purpose. So this is a very simple definition of company. Okay. One professor is there, Professor Haney. What Professor Haney said that company is what, bacha? Company is a artificial person. Dekho, two persons are there, like we are real person. We take the birth by nature. And one thing is what, bacha? Artificial person, which is created by law, created by any act. So company is an artificial person because it is created by a law. Having separate entity means having a separate identification from its member. Company can purchase, company can sell anything by the name of company itself. And the most important is it have the perpetual succession and a common seal. Common seal is actually the signature of the company. Like company is artificial person, company is not a real person like us. So common seal will act as a signature of the company. So you have two definitions of joint stock company. One which is present on your screen, and one is Professor Haney definition. And if you think personally that which definition you have to write down, the definition of Haney is more suitable. Professor Haney said that company is a artificial person which is created by law, having a separate entity, having perpetual succession, and have a common seal. Okay. So bacha, the features of company is this much. Okay. Separate legal entity, it means the company can purchase and sell any assets, any property by the name of company itself. Transferability of share, which is not present in the partnership. Transferability of share, like suppose I have 25% share, I can transfer my shares to any other person also. And that is the meaning of transferability of share. Artificial person, company is artificial person because company is not take the natural birth. It is created by law. Okay. And which are the next one is a very important, perpetual succession, perpetual existence. It means what? By the death of any shareholder, any member, by the death, admission, retirement, transferability, the company cannot affect. So perpetual succession or perpetual existence means what? A very simple thing, that company cannot affected by the death of any member. Company will continue. Like the sole proprietorship death can affect the business. Partner's death can affect the business. But in company, that is a perpetual succession, that it cannot be affected by death or retirement or living of anyone. That will continue without any effect. Next one is limited liability. Like in sole proprietorship, unlimited liability is there. In partnership, unlimited liability is there. But bacha, in the company, limited liability is there. As we know that in the sole proprietorship, unlimited liability is there. In partnership, unlimited liability is there. What is the meaning of unlimited liability? That if losses cannot be covered by the amount invested by you in the business, it will be covered from your personal property. But this is the feature of the company, that company have the limited liability. It means the company can take the money from you till that amount only, whatever you invested as a share in the company, not more than that. In the first one is the separate legal entity. Company can be sued in its corporate name and capacity. So be it to say that company can file the case against anyone. Anyone can file the case against by the name of company. Okay. Transferability of share. Capital is contributed by the shareholders through the subscription of share. Such shares are transferred by its member, but always remember, in the private limited company, the transferability of share is not there. This particular feature is available in the sector of public company. Now, bacha, the artificial person, already we discussed that the person which is created by law. Perpetual succession means company will go on. It will be not affected by the death, insolvency and the change of members. And this is the very important feature of the company. Limited liability, that every shareholders have the limited liability and is limited to the amount he has agreed to pay on the company on the shares allotted to him. If such shares are fully paid up, he is subject to no further liability. Means that if share price is 100 rupees and you paid the 100 rupees share value, so whatever the loss is there, you will not responsible for paying more than 100 what you had already paid back. Okay. And the next one is you're knowing that common seal. And common seal is a very simple thing, that company is not a natural person. It cannot sign the document in the same manner as we are, as a natural person would do. So company seal is affixed all document by the person authorized, board of directors or anyone who is authorized person. Shares, it's how the company is earning the amount. So company is earning the amount in the mode, so many modes are there. Company can arrange the finance in the form of debt. Company can arrange the finance in the form of share. Company can arrange the finance in the form of retained earning. So in that, bacha, first what we are going to discuss, that is what? Share. So bacha, what is share? The capital of the company is divided into the units of small denominations. These units are called shares. Mean to say, what simple understand, like suppose a company capital is 1 crore rupees and that 1 crore rupees is divided in 1000 rupees part. So that 1000 rupees part, the smallest part, is known as share, and the person who have the share is considered as shareholder, and the amount which is contributed by them is considered share capital. Okay, so share is what, bacha? Share is the smallest part of unit in which the company's whole capital is divided. That smallest part unit, fixed unit, is considered as share, and the person who have the share, the person is known as shareholder, and the amount which is contributed by that person is known as share capital. So now what are the types of share? Share are having two types. Equity of share. Equity share is what, bacha? The share which do not enjoy any preferential right in the payment of dividend a repayment of capital. It means if the company is going to distribute the profit in the form of dividend, they will get it the dividend after distribution of everyone, after deducting all the expenses, after giving the interest, after giving the dividend to the preference shareholders. If any dividends are left, then that dividend will be given to equity shareholders. Similarly, whenever the repayment of capital will be there, after making the payment of everyone, whatever the balance will be there, if any balance is there, then it will be returned to the equity shareholders. And bacha, what is the preference shareholders? Very simple. Who have the preferential right over the equity share. It means if any dividend is there, so the dividend will be offered to them first, and after that, that will be offered to the, if any balance remain, then to the equity shareholders. अब देखो बच्चा, types of preference shares are basically four bases: dividend right, recover of capital, conversion, and participation in the surplus profit. On the basis of dividend right, cumulative and non-cumulative. On the basis of recovery of capital, the two types is redeemable and irredeemable. On the basis of conversion, it is convertible, non-convertible, and in the participation in surplus profit, participating and non-participating. Okay, so basically we can say the types of preference share is 8 types. Now, what is the cumulative preference share and what is non-cumulative preference share? If you guys want to write down the notes, you can write down from the slides exactly. Cumulative preference shares are enjoying the rights to accumulate. If any, like as we know that the dividend will be distributed in the case of profit year only, but future is uncertain. Maybe that in any year loss will be there and dividend not paid to them. So they have the accumulation of that unpaid dividend in the future year. It means whenever in the future year the profit will be there, they will get their unpaid dividend in that year. For example, suppose in 2016 loss is there and the dividend not distributed in the 2016, but in 2017 a huge amount of profit is there. So the cumulative preference shares will get the profit of 2017 as well as the previous year loss 2016 profit also, and that is what the rights to accumulate. Non-cumulative preference shares, dividend is not accumulated. If it is not paid in a particular year, so it will be not paid in the other year also. Other year also means what, bacha? Don't get confusion. It means that if the dividend of 2016 is not paid in 2016, so 2016 dividend will be not paid in any other future year. But cumulative preference share, if 2016 is not paid, the 2016 dividend which is unpaid can be paid in the future year also. Next one is redeemable preference share. So redeemable preference shares are the shares which can be redeemed or repaid in accordance with the terms issued after a specific period. Like whenever the preference share issued, it is issued for 10 years. So after 10 years, we have to redeem, we have to make the payment to the preference shares. In India, companies can now issue only the categories of preference shares. In redeemable preference shares, these shares are the share which cannot be refunded before winding up. Winding up means the company closing. But in India, as we know that now all shares, all preference shares having one type of, that is a redeemable preference share. Non-redeemable preference shares are not allowed in India now. Bacha, the next one is convertible and non-convertible. The convertible preference shares can be converted into equity shares with a specific period of time. Like after 3 years, preference share will be converted in equity shares. So if you have the convertible preference shares, then can be easily converted in equity shares after a specific period of time. Non-convertible preference shares which cannot be converted into equity shares. Interval says 6 months or 1 year. Okay. So non-convertible preference shares are the shares which cannot be converted in equity shares. And the last one is participating preference shares and non-participating preference shares. Participating preference shares have a right to participate in the future surplus of a company's share, which after dividend to a certain rate has been paid on equity share. It means that like preference shares rate is 10%. So after 10%, whatever the profit is remain for equity shareholders, they can participate in that also, and sometimes they are getting the extra profit. Non-participating preference shares which do not enjoy such right of participation in the profit of the company. So they will get that much amount only what rate is pre-decided for the preference shares. So bacha, all that is there. You just have a look. Cumulative preference share, non-cumulative preference shares, redeemable preference shares and irredeemable preference shares, convertible preference shares and non-convertible preference shares, and the participating preference shares and non-participating preference shares. So bacha, let's understand the difference between equity share and preference share. In equity share, there is no fixed rate of dividend. After giving the dividend to everyone, after giving the dividend to a preference share, whatever the profit is remain, that is totally transferred to equity share. But in preference share, issued with a conditional assurance regarding and a prescribed rate of dividend is there. Repayment is there. Get what money left after setting all other the claims, priority over equity, repayment of capital in the event of liquidation. Acha bacha, and in the sector of redeemable, the equity shares are always remain permanently with the company. On the time of winding up, that will be settled. But preference shares are now in India is issued with a specific period of time, so company have to pay off that after a specific period of time. Equity shares, the main and basic difference, or you can say the main power of equity share is that equity shares having the voting rights to elect directors, equity share having the voting rights to take the decisions, but preference shares not have such voting rights. Okay, now guys, whatever the theory I'm telling you now, it is very important for the numerical purpose. So please focus on that. Types of share capital. Share capital having the so many types. Share capitals is classified in so many types. The number one is authorized capital. Authorized capital having two parts: issued capital, unissued capital. Issued capital having two parts: subscribed capital, unsubscribed capital. Subscribed capital again having two parts: called up capital, uncalled up capital. Called up capital having two parts: paid up capital, call scenario. Uncalled up capital having the reserve capital. So this is actually the diagram of the company's share capital system. We will understand each and everything in today's class. But authorized capital is what? This is the maximum amount of a capital a company is authorized to raise from the public. This is specified in the memorandum of association of the company. Always remember, authorized capital is present in the memorandum of association. Like a company is registered in the registrar office that I have registered our capital, what we can raise from the public is 20 crore rupees. So our authorized capital is 20 crore rupees. Out of that 20 crore rupees, bacha, the company can issue the amounts whenever they needed to the public. So like suppose 20 crore is the authorized capital. Out of 20 crore rupees, 15 crore rupees you needed. So you issued that 15 crore rupees to the public. So your issued capital is 15 crore, and what you not issued yet, that is unissued capital of 5 crore rupees. Because your authorized capital what you registered is 20 crore rupees. Now bacha, So issued capital indicate the part of authorized capital which is offered to public for subscription. And after the bachcha, subscribed capital is there. So this is the part of the issued capital. Like suppose a company have the authorized capital of 20 crore. Company issued 15 crore rupees as a public subscription, and 5 crore rupees not issued, that is known as unissued capital. So out of 15 crore bachcha, how much public are actually purchasing and subscribing, that is considered as a subscribed capital. Like suppose 15 crore shares are there and 14 crore 98 lakh is actually subscribed that. So our subscribed capital will be near about 14 crore 98 lakh. Sometimes it is a oversubscription also, that public applied for 16 crore. So that is a oversubscription. Okay, that all we will discuss. So bacha, called up capital is not what? Called up capital is a part of subscribed capital what company is now calling for payment. And paid up capital is what? This is the amount of called up capital actually paid up by the public. Paid up capital become the liability of the company towards its shareholder as a share capital. And reserve capital, please remember this, reserve capital is a part of uncalled capital set aside as a reserve by the company to call up only in the event of liquidation of the company. Like suppose 10 rupees is a share value. You called up 8 rupees and you lost the share. So 2 rupees which you not yet called up will be considered as a reserve capital. So guys, I think this particular diagram is clear to you. If it is not clear, no problem. Again, I am telling you, authorized capital is a registered capital. Suppose a registered capital is 20 crore rupees. Out of 20 crore rupees, company issued 15 crore rupees for the general public subscription, and 5 crore rupees company kept with us. It is unissued. Out of 15 crore rupees, bacha, suppose 14 crore 98 lakh. 14 crore 98 lakh is subscribed by the general public. They interested to pay this much particular amount. So subscribed capital is the amount, the capital what publics are approaching, public is subscribing what company had issued. ठीक है भाई. तो कंपनी ने मान लो भाई अथराइज कैपिटल 20 करोड़, कंपनी ने उसमें से 15 करोड़ इश्यू कर दिया, पब्लिक ने सब्सक्राइब किया ओनली 14 करोड़ 98 लाख. तो सब्सक्राइब कैपिटल 14 करोड़ 98 लाख. अब बच्चा उसमें से क्या होगा कि आउट ऑफ 14 करोड़ 98 लाख रुपीज, सपोज यू कैन सपोज द शेयर इज 10 रुपीज. So out of 10 rupees, company called up for the payment of 8 rupees and company not called up 2 rupees. So whatever the company called up, that is known as called up capital, and whatever the company not called up, that is known as uncalled capital. Ab bacha, suppose you demanded out of 10 8 rupees and company paid 6 rupees only. So paid up capital is 6 rupees and call scenario what they not paid is 2 rupees. Okay, so this is the whole diagram. Now you come to the problem. A company has been incorporated with an authorized capital of 20 lakh divided into 2 lakh shares of rupees 10 each. It offered 1,90,000 shares to the public, but only 1,80,000 shares were subscribed. The director called for an amount of rupees 6 per share. All the amount were received except the call money of rupees 2 on 1,000 shares. Calculate the amount of different categories of share capital. So whatever the theory we had completed, we have to implement that theory and we have to find out each and every heading. Apacha, as you can see that authorized capital is 2 lakh share of 10 each. So 2 lakh share of 10 each, total 20 lakh rupees. That is what registered capital, authorized capital. Out of that, 1,90,000 shares issued to the public. So issued capital is how much, bacha? 1,90,000 shares at the rate of 10 is equal to 19 lakh. And company not issued 10,000 shares, unissued 10,000 shares at the rate of 10 each, and that is how much, bacha? 1 lakh rupees. So issued capital is how much? 19 lakh. Unissued capital is how much बच्चा? 1 lakh rupees. Now issued capital. अब issue out of issued capital, public subscribe only for 1,80,000 shares. So for how many capital the public subscribe? Public subscribe only for 1,80,000 shares, which is mentioned in the question. So 1,80,000 shares at the rate of 10 each is equal to 18 lakh. And how much unsubscribed? So 10,000 shares at the rate of 10, total is 1 lakh rupees. And but out of subscribed capital 1,90,000, how much amount we received and how much amount we not received? So company called up to the 1,80,000 who had been subscribed 6 rupees. Company called up 1,80,000 shares of 6 each. Total is how much? 10,80,000. Okay. And how much amount company not called yet? So as we can see, the 10 rupees is the share value. Company called only 6 rupees. So company not called 4 rupees, and that 4 rupees which is uncalled will be considered as reserve capital. Okay. So 1,80,000 shares at the rate of 4 each, total is 7,20,000. Now, so total called up capital is 1,80,000 shares at the rate of 6 each. So you can see paid up capital, how much they paid up. So bacha, except 1,000, everyone paid up, and 1,000 shareholders only paid 2 rupees. So bacha, for this particular calculation you can do like this also, that 1,79,000 paid 6 rupees. So 1,79,000 paid 6 rupees, and 1,000 paid only 4 rupees. So total paid up capital is 1,79,000 at the rate of 6 plus 1,000 at the rate of 4. Total will be 10,78,000. And the call scenarios are that 1,000 shares not paid 2 rupees. 1,000 shares not paid 2 rupees, and total call scenario is 2,000. Okay. So in this particular slide, this is a typing mistake, that 2,000 shares of 2 each. Actually, the share which is not paid is just in the question is 1,000 rupees, not 2,000. So call scenario will be 1,000 shares at the rate of 2 each is just 2,000. Okay. Now, so bacha, for today this much is there. I hope that how to find out the authorized capital, what is issued capital, what is subscribed capital, what is called up, what is paid up, what is reserve capital, how we can identify authorized capital, what is issued capital, what is subscribed capital, what is called up capital, what is paid up capital, what is call scenario. All fundamental theory you understand. So I'm just ending the class here. Thank you. In the next class, we will discuss the accounting of shares for cash and for consideration other than cash. Okay. Till then, thank you. Take care. Bye bye.